the best drone for Scotland. Hello and welcome to a new video here on Scotland and Bagpipes. Everything about Scotland. Today in this video I'm going to show you the best drone hands down for Scotland. I always want to get the best footage. Drone footage just like this. Or this. This. And that one. Yeah, and I've been flying drones since almost 4 years in Scotland now. I even tried different drones and I can tell you exactly which one is the best. 100% in my opinion, it's the one here next to me. So when it comes to Scotland, for me, it's really very important to have a strong drone with strong propellers or a strong motor inside. Because you can use DJI mini drones, smaller drones, and I've seen them in Scotland flying around all the time, but the footage that I record most of the time, for example Dunnottar Castle, the Isle of Skye or some other places, are just so windy and you're gonna lose these little drones which you can only fly if there is nice and beautiful weather and only light winds. So I had this drone here and I'll tell you which one it is in a second, flying around in really strong winds, almost would call it storms. And the drone always managed to come back. Even it was hard a little bit for the drone here to come back, but it managed it just fine. And I'm so glad and had never any issues. The next thing is I want sensors all around the drone. Sometimes, and you can deactivate them, you can just fly in sports mode, but it's safe to have them because if there is some landscape and there are trees and stuff is around, and that one has just the sensors all over the place around the drone, above and beneath, and so you are quite safe that you don't and won't crash the drone. So it's no surprise, the brand is DJI and I love them. I've tried several drones from them and in my opinion it's just the best drone maker right now on the market. Maybe that will change in a few years, I don't know, but right now they're just unbeatable. So here it is. It's not that small, but it's not too big. I can easily carry it in my backpack, and there's also my huge Sony a7 III in it, and it's no problem, and I never had any issues that the drone is just too heavy or too big, because you can just fold it down as almost any drone and it becomes actually super and quite small. If you look at that, and you can see it, I guess here it says it. It's the Mavic 3 Classic. And I just love it. If you see the drone footage here that I recorded in Scotland, I'm always in love with it. And in my opinion, you cannot beat it. The next drone would be like 10,000 or more dollars. I don't know how much is the Inspire, DJI Inspire, I don't know, but that would be the next step for me because this is a high-end drone. The next reason why I recommend it is actually the camera and the sensor. It's a Hasselblad 4/3 sensor which gets the best footage and it's even super ISO strong. I don't need it most of the time because I love to fly on sunsets and sunrises, so that would be if you consider flying over cities at nighttime to film all the lights and you need really to turn up the ISO and stuff like that. I really never needed that. The highest ISO is I guess 400 that I use and I don't go further with the ISO. So that thing, it records up to more than 4K actually, but all I need is most of the time I record 4K and 60 frames per second. If you don't know all these photography words, don't worry, I'll try to break it down for beginners as well, so I make it as easy as possible for you to understand everything. It just creates very good picture quality because 60 frames per second, that is, yeah, not a lot, but it's in the middle. You can get up to 120, but I only need 60, and you can even slow down if you want to the footage a little bit and you get some slow motion. It's 895 grams heavy or lightweight, and DJI says you get up to 46 minutes of flight time. I actually never came close to 46 minutes, but that's another reason I recommend the drone, because I can fly for ages. It feels like for ages. I had different drones, for example, the DJI Platinum Mavic drone. I had that one before, flew it in Scotland, and you could fly 20-25 minutes, and then it came close to low battery. But compared to this one here, it's a beast. And yeah, it feels like I can stay up there forever. And most of the time I get all my footage just under 30 minutes. Almost never go beyond 30 minutes. I never need it, but the camera records up to 5.1K. So that's above 4K. It's insane. I never need it. And also the new codec H.265. The standard is or was H.264, and now you can even set up H.265, but you need a good computer, PC, Mac or whatever just to edit the footage. One thing, and that's not a secret, but why the footage looks so different to other drone pilots is because you can set up the log. That's a profile which is super flat, not saturated and no contrast almost at all. And in post-production, there will be another video and I can show you how to get the best out of your drone footage. And in post-production, you do some color grading to get that look that I show always here on or in my Scotland videos. So as I said, there will be another video with all my drone secrets revealed, because how you set up this beast here, or that special drone that I love so much, is very, very important. Imagine you go to a restaurant and you really enjoy the food there. You would never say, wow, the pan that the chef uses must be a great one. You could say that with the drone. Wow, the drone that this guy here is using is just a good one. He gets so cool footage out of that drone. But actually, how you set up or how you cook the food is also very, very, very important. So that deserves an extra video, of course. And as I showed you, that's just a side information. Before I was flying these drone controllers from DJI, where you put the mobile phone and you stick it with a cable to the controller, and sometimes you lose the cable and then the drone goes, oh my god, and it's here, you have to reconnect it. And now these times are over because there is that screen, and I love it so much because I don't need the phone. I've got everything here. It's the RC controller, and that changed my drone life again. And look how nice this thing actually looks. I love it so much. So coming back to the flight time or to the battery, I never actually had a second battery here with this drone. I had 3 with my drone that I owned before, that I mentioned, the DJI Platinum, and sometimes I even needed the third one. But so far I managed to get all my shots with 1 battery. And I mentioned the camera already because we're talking about videos, but it also takes fantastic pictures, unbelievable pictures. If you also follow me on Instagram, you see all these pictures and it blows me away every time. You can always check the battery status if you just look here on the back and you hit the button, and then you see the lights. There are 2.5 lights, one is blinking, so that's a little bit more than 50% of battery right now. And the next thing is you just open this little thing here to charge the battery, and there's a micro SD in there, SD card, and you can just choose the capacity of your micro SD card, and you can record for ages. As you can see here all over the drone, sensor, in the front sensor, also here on the bottom 1 and 2 sensors. There's a special light and additional light that you can turn on. You can do all these automated flights, but that's also for another video. But for example, you can set it up that it circles you, and it looks like some photographer is actually recording you, but most of the time when you see my shots, I just put circle, I just hit myself here on the screen, and then I choose the distance and the speed, put the controller away and just stand, and the drone circles, and you can do many of those automated auto shots or quick shots, I think they call it in the DJI software. I think the last thing is that it it looks like a shark or something. It looks so badass, and I love everything about the drone. I really just love everything about the drone. I never had any problems with this one here. I crashed my Platinum DJI drone before, but with all these sensors, and I barely fly or use the sports mode with all these sensors and never hit anything. It's just great. I love it so much, and sometimes you just have to say if a company is really, really good. I'm not getting any money. This is not a sponsored video at all. I'm just amazed by the technical things that DJI actually produces. So that's what I use for Scotland, the DJI Mavic Classic. Oh yeah, and before I forget, I also use ND filters. That's the little things here. And I'm sure you've heard about it. It's like sunglasses for the lens, because when it comes to the settings, which I said I will make another video, I have to set it up in a special way and not automatic, so that I use these things here and it just darkens the footage a little bit so that I get the most out of my pictures. Just a little thing that you understand what's happening. If you see sometimes drone footage on YouTube and it's flickering or something, and you think something is off. Why does the drone footage from this guy look so much better than from the other one here? That's because of these little things. So the video will be here at the end showing up, and I use these little things. It's easy. You just remove your little thing here, and that's it. And you put the strength on it that you need just for the day. If there's bright sunlight, you need a darker one. If there's just a little bit sunlight, you need a light one. Or sometimes if it's cloudy, you don't need an ND filter at all. Links to the exact products that I use down there in the video description. I hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you want to, you don't have to, but would be great. So see you in the next one on Scotland and bagpipes, and bye.